Hello everybody. Welcome back to another cruise. So I had just a random thought last night on what I wanted to talk about today, which made my wife chuckle and say, well, that's kind of dark, but I think it's kind of comical. The basic topic of today is don't take it too seriously, you die in the end. Before I get into what I've been thinking about, subscribe if you like what I do on the channel. Feel free to rate, comment, hit the notification bell if you want to see when new videos go up. Like I've always said, I try to put new stuff up 4 days a week. Yesterday, I had a touch of a backlog of videos, and I wanted to get those up, so I ended up putting up 2 full podcasts, 3 videos, just due to the backlog I had that I wanted to get rid of. And also, if there's anything that you want to hear my opinion on, let me know. More than happy to look something up that I'm not even familiar with and take a stab at giving you my opinion on some stuff. Yesterday I did a lot of talking about my family and just some of the bigger memories. Well, today, kind of want to talk about some of the more mundane. I remember there were times when I was a teenager and young adult, we'd go out to eat for dinner, and we would be cutting up, laughing, and carrying on, and I can't, you wouldn't call it disorderly, but there was more than one occasion that we'd get laughing so hard at just picking on each other or a funny joke or whatever that people sitting around us in restaurants or in other public places would be looking. And sometimes that would just make us laugh harder. I remember one time Dad even made the observation that it didn't seem like anybody else in that restaurant was really laughing or having a good time. They were just having a meal. And it seemed to be accurate to me, but they definitely weren't cutting up like we were, we'll just say that. One of the things I remember him doing when I was a kid, one of the better family restaurants in town to go to was Ryan's Steakhouse. And in that, I've given you a clue to how old I am, because I remember Ryan's Steakhouse as a kid. And if you've gone to Ryan's any amount of times, you'll know that they did the happy birthday song upon request from the family members of the birthday person. They'd get all the servers a special birthday dessert, and they'd walk through and they'd start clapping, walk into your table, get to your table, and embarrass the crap out of you. Well, at one point in the song, they all go, "Hey!" And I remember Dad would go, "Hey!" right along with them, just to embarrass my mother. And it was all good, clean fun. And we had a blast. And there wasn't much that we we lacked the ability as a family to find the humor in. Because there's very few things so serious. There was very few things that mattered to that degree. Aside from my family's safety, security, and well-being, I'll laugh at just about anything, or I'll try to find humor in just about anything. A little over 3 years ago now, my dad was diagnosed with cancer. And it was colon cancer. They were still trying to figure out what stage it was and things like that, and he didn't know what his options were at that point in time because he didn't know what stage it was, but he knew kind of the standard treatment regimens. And he had had a heart condition his whole life. His heart was oversized. He had to have 2 heart surgeries as a kid. So chemotherapy was out because it can cause heart arrhythmias on its own, and he already had heart problems, and so his doctor said that chemo will probably kill you. And so radiation was the only modern medicine treatment that could theoretically do anything, and even then, there's no guarantees with cancer. Well, I was talking to him, and I told him, I said, what would you think about radiation? Well, my Aunt Debbie had recently passed away. From cancer, and she had had a boatload of radiation therapy done. And Dad had seen what that did to her in the treatment area. And he's like, I just don't know if I can do that. Imagine what that would do to me. And I told him, I said, well, it'd probably burn your butt. And he goes, that's not bad. So even at the time, he didn't know how bad the cancer was. And definitely coming face to face with his own mortality in a months-long, drawn-out process, he had a sense of humor about stuff. And he got a chuckle out of it after he sat there and thought for a second. He's like, yeah, I guess it would. It ain't bad. But he never took himself so serious that unless the situation was really terrible, because at that point he knew that his wife would end up being taken care of and his kids would be okay. We were all adults at that point in time. He was a grandfather, so we're raising kids, and he knew that we'd be okay. Well, so he could chuckle about some stuff on occasion. I just remember his sense of humor through a lot of things, and in some instances, not all, but in some instances, near happy-go-lucky attitude that, oh, well, this situation's no good. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. He didn't let everything get to him all the time. There were some things that really got under his skin, but it was kind of rare to see that. And the things that would really put a burden on him was if it was something to do with him taking care of his family. I remember when I was a kid, this was one of the more stressful times I'd seen on my dad. I remember the company that he worked for back when he was a traveling salesman in the 90s and 2000s. The CEO had embezzled all the money and took off to parts unknown, likely a country without extradition to the States. And so Dad went from being a good traveling salesman, making decent enough money to take care of his wife and kids, to unemployed by absolutely no fault of his own. The company's headquarters, they ended up in limbo like for months, and so he drew unemployment till he could find something else to do, and he had to be a little choosy due to his heart conditions. He didn't mind doing manual labor for him, but he didn't want to have to do it for anybody else in case it started flaring his heart condition up. Well, anyway, he had got another job, and that ended up not working out, but during that time he kept a positive attitude. He was chuckling, laughing, having fun, and then long and short, someone else had bought that company out because they knew that the product was good. It's just the CEO was a criminal. So when they bought that company out, he was able to get his job back. All of his old contacts were eager to be buying new product from him. And things were better because a lot of the old staff came back, and all of the product was built to the same specifications. So his not gonna let it bother me attitude did help him out quite a bit. I really am struggling to come up with much more to say on the matter on that, but that's kind of the gist of what I wanted to say, that in the end you're gonna die, so why not laugh a little bit before then? So, anyway, I hope everyone has a good day. Again, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the things. Hope everyone has a good day. Take care, and see you next time.